Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. President William Samoei Ruto led a delegation of politicians and leaders to Mandera County. Apparently, the security situation in Mandera is dire. It is really wanting because the Al-Shabaab group had abducted 5 Kenyan chiefs, and this has really brought a lot of tension and panic in the area. So the president wanted to take that golden moment to restore some confidence that the security in the area is under control. But apart from trying to restore confidence, he wanted to use that occasion also to campaign and to look for some votes. And he had got several leaders, most of them loyalists. And there was a moment of tension or drama ensued when William Ruto's personal aide, Farouk Kibet, and I don't know whether Farouk is Ruto's aide because he does not have a physical portfolio, but we see him near Ruto. We see him speak about matters that touch on Ruto directly or matters that touch on the government. He gives warnings here and there. So the governor of Mandera, Mohamed Khalid, was speaking or was addressing the people. And I think he was not speaking the way Farouk really wanted, because they wanted members of the praise and worship team, those who will be saying how William Ruto is good and this and that. And Farouk did not hide his frustrations. He went there and ordered the governor to hand over the microphone to one of Ruto's loyalists. And when the governor was still trying to dilly-dally or continue speaking, there was a fracas, and Faruk Kibet almost slapped him. And I want you to watch this video. But before we watch this video, who exactly is Faruk Kibet? That is, many people are asking, who is this Faruk Kibet in Ruto's government?
Hata kabla niongee ile yetu ya nchi, wacha niwaambie watu wa Koilel. Vile Murkomen amesema, hii mtu anaitwa Faruk. Hii mtu ni mtu ingine ya maana sana. Na unajua watu wanasikiaga Faruk. Wanafikiria ni mtu utaenda upate ako na ofisi floor moja pale kwa rais wetu. Mimi naona ofisi ya Faruk hata ni ile ya rais wetu wa Kenya. Kwa sababu huwezi fikia rais Faruk akisema no.
That is the man we are talking about. So powerful, does not have a physical office, but so close to William Ruto that people who understand how the UDA government is run is saying that you cannot see William Ruto without the approval of Farouk Kibet. Now today, this is what happened.
Mandera is 100% support for William the President of the Republic of Kenya and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, the Deputy President, Professor Kindiki Kidure, Waziri Duale, ma-PSS kadhaa, karibuni sana Mandera. Kwanza, watu wa Mandera wako kati ya broad-based government, wamekubali broad-based government. Hakuna mtu mmoja ambaye ako Mandera ambaye ana support wale watu wanatugawanya. Rais wetu, sisi tunakupenda. Watu wa Mandera wamefurahia.
Now, if you ask me, ladies and gentlemen, that was shameful. And I'm wondering, who was the master of ceremony? Who was given that mandate to call leaders, one leader after the other? Because that should have been the prerogative of the person who was in the podium, the person who was, calling upon the leaders to address the locals. Now, when you look at that video and listen carefully, the governor was speaking something that was not palatable to the government, to Ruto's side. And I think he was trying to talk about the insecurity of the area. It didn't go down well with people like Farouk Kibet, and Farouk could not contain himself. Can you imagine a man who has got the audacity, he's got the guts to go and order a governor? They are in Mandera County, and this is the governor of Mandera, a person who was elected, duly elected by the people to represent them at the county level. In fact, apart from the president and maybe the deputy, the governor comes third, if I'm not wrong, because they were in his territory. Farouk Kibet, who is not a minister, who was not elected by anybody, went there and ensured that the governor handed over the microphone. Now, the person who was handed over the microphone, I don't know his name. If you listen to his speech, he started the praise and worship. He was talking about the broad-based government. And that's why I'm telling you that apart from the fact that William Ruto went there to restore confidence that he's still in charge, security is under control, they also went there to campaign. They went there to promote the broad-based government. They went there to show that Ruto and Raila and all the people who were brought into the government, it was a good thing to do that. And that's why the person, in fact, by the time he started speaking, he spoke for quite some times, and they were comfortable with it. And I'm just wondering, why did they have to force the governor to curtail his speech? That is their area. That is his area, is the governor. And then they give another person, quite a lot of time to speak. And what he's speaking is just praising the broad-based government. And I thought this other guy who was given the microphone would have started, by also emphasizing on the situation, the security situation in the area. We have chiefs who have been abducted. Yet when this other speaker comes in, the only thing he says, the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces and Kithure Kindiki, the deputy, and he says, in this area, there is no one who is opposing the broad-based government. Surely, was that the right time to talk about the broad-based government when they have chiefs who have been abducted? When their lives are in danger, that is what I can say. Because even William Ruto himself, when his moment came to address the residents, he was afraid, he was scared. He had to address the residents on top of his presidential vehicle just in case something happened. And then we have leaders who come there to start praising William Ruto, to start telling them about the broad-based government. He should have even started by talking about the security, then get to the broad-based government. But it also tells you the people who surround William Samoei Ruto. Hiyo ni madharau ukiniuliza. A governor, surely there's a way they can communicate. Rather than trying to push him so hard, forcing him in front of William Ruto, in front of the other politicians and leaders, in front of the people. That was so humiliating. And that is the kind of dictatorship that we have witnessed in this government. Just the other day, there were rumors that Farouk Kibet could have slapped. I think there was a forum where they were, and it was rumored that he did his slap, or he almost slapped Kithure Kindiki, the deputy president. I remember him telling Kithure Kindiki to follow the footsteps of the president. They were in a certain forum. There was also another moment when Rigathi Gachagua, when he was still a deputy president, he complained about the allies of William Ruto, those who are very close to him, trying to dictate the office of the deputy president. And I remember Rigathi was saying, I know my bosses. My number one boss maybe is William Ruto and the people who elected us. If you ever doubted the way Farouk Kibet is handling leaders, it will tell you. And he can only do that with the approval of the president. It also reminds me of a statement that Rigathi Gachagua gave that William Ruto is a dictator, ni mkali, wakiwa kwa cabinet, whatever he says is alpha and omega. It all trickles down to what we see happen because Farouk Kibet is acting on behalf of William Samoei Ruto and dictating people. Hand over the microphone to someone who can praise William Ruto. To me, that is unacceptable. It also tells you that we have a government that still wants people who, bootlicking. You understand? People who just want to praise the president. No one can, tell the president that, things are going wrong. We should have had leaders questioning where was the government when the 5 chiefs were being abducted. If at the local level, ukiachana na wale wazee wa nyumba kumi, chiefs are direct links to the president. The assistant chiefs, the chiefs, and I don't know if they still have the DU, and then because the DCs and the PCs were converted under the new constitution, they became the deputy county commissioner and the county commissioner respectively. They represent the president. And so in front of the president, when you're in an area that is suffering, your representatives have been abducted, we don't need leaders who come there to start praising the broad-based government. There could be another forum. Not there. That was a place to talk about purely insecurity. This kind of dictatorship and disrespect to leaders is something that will cause William Samoei Ruto, because you can imagine the governor now, what does he feel? And he's wondering, he's an elected leader, they're in their area, Farouk Kibet does not have any physical portfolio, then he dictates, he almost slapped, he almost pushed him. I think Farouk wants it that whenever he tells you to stop something, you do it with immediate effect. I think the governor wanted to wind up, but Farouk wanted him to stop immediately he says so. I think that was a moment of shame, and it reveals the software within the Ruto's government, leave alone the hardware where they want to pretend that they are good. They are micromanaging. That's why even in the cabinet we are told you cannot question. That's why even parliament has become a place to ratify and rubber stamp what the executive wants. The judiciary is in the pocket. Everything is in the pocket. They want you to praise the president. If you cannot pave way, give way to someone who can, praise the president, even when things are wrong. I don't know what to think about that scuffle, but to me, it was really embarrassing. What do you think? Kindly share with me on the comment section.